Before we go, name your favorite actor in the show.
Arre re. That's tough. So one thing that I have to ask you is that you've been a part of big shows and you've done very critical character roles. So how is the TV space for actors who do character roles?
So when I got into television, I had a very clear mind that I do not want to be a main lead, as in the hero. Even a villain is a lead only, but I said the main protagonist. Again, that was also at a very young age. Things have changed today. If someone gives me, but I look at the content now rather than the fact that it's a hero. The reason why I didn't want to do it is because सारे हीरो सेम तो होते हैं हर शो में. ऐसा क्या नया कर रहे हो आप एज ए हीरो? जो अरे वाह, मुझे एक शो के लिए कॉल आया था आफ्टर इस प्यार को क्या नाम दूं. Gautam Rode ended up doing that show. It was on Life OK. I was called by Arvind sir. He auditioned me also. I don't know what happened, but he loved my audition. He wanted me to play the main lead. I was jumping for that because that was a different thing. अघोरी मतलब किसी ने देखा ही नहीं अभी टीवी पे. So that is a different thing. अभी वो घर का डेली सागाज वागाज में हीरो वीरो का ऐसा मेरा कोई इंक्लिनेशन है नहीं. And I also with characters I have a good understanding कि ये कैसा होगा. Only then will I take a character up. Abhi my last show, I don't know if you know about it, Hum Rahe Na Rahe Hum also. When I signed the show, I had seen the entire show because it's a remake of a Turkish show. So I had an idea of how the character would be. That's why I signed that show. And it did not. They completely went off course. And I was trying my best to get out of the show also. But then the makers are very close to me and they said that the show will not last till then. So just finish it. Finish it. And ended up shooting for about 5 months for that show. That's it. So I usually am kind of get an understanding that, how this character would shape up in the show. And then also believe on my own self that I'll be able to do what they want me to do. Otherwise, see, आप कुछ भी हो, आप हीरो हो, विलन हो, कैरेक्टर हो, अगर आपके स्टोरी या आपके सीन से ऑडियंस नहीं जुड़ रही है, आपको हटा दिया जाएगा. It's as simple as that. तो वो एक अपने आप पे I have faith in myself कि अगर मैं कुछ करूं तो लोग देखेंगे. So I'll get back to this story from Miss Pyaar ko kya naam do. We had a very emotional scene one day, sometime in July of 2012, where Arnav was kidnapped and now he's come back to the house. And everyone accusing me. And I'm running around everyone trying to not, be blamed for the kidnapping. So when we get scripts, we have pages, right? That scene was about 10 pages. And उसमें से 10 के 10 पेज में सिर्फ it was only me talking. So everyone thought we are going to do that master in 4 goals. This much, this much, this much, this much. I did not show my face to anybody that day. I was locked in a room. I was doing my own thing. I just told the director, don't cut till I tell you to cut. And we happened to do the whole thing in one day. The master. Because I'm a theater actor. So it was no big deal for me. Sorry, there was a cut in the middle. I literally was panting because I was, when you're trying to when you're trying to justify to someone that you're not the guy, you're not what you think you are. So in that, I took a theatrical pause and the director said cut. And he thought, I'm like, Sale, I am taking a pause. Let me breathe. And we ended up doing that scene. Everyone remembers that because they were all shocked. Like, ये कैसे किया है हमने एक गो में? ये कम से कम 4 घंटे का काम था, वो हमने 1 घंटे में किया. Anyway, ये हो गया. वो सीन हमने शूट किया. अगले दिन मैं सेट पे आया. I see my production team is all baffled up. I'm like, what happened? He's like, कल वो सीन शूट किया था. I'm like, हाँ. तो उसका रीशूट आया. I'm like, रीशूट? किस बात के लिए रीशूट? क्या खराब था? कुछ परफॉर्मेंस में खराब? कहते हैं नहीं भाई, चैनल से रीशूट आया. मैंने कहा क्यों? तो बोला मेरे को ईपी ने कि चैनल का फीडबैक आया है कि आपकी शर्ट का कलर पर्दे के कलर से मैच हो रहा है. किरण वाज माय ईपी. आई सेड किरण, जिसको जो करना है कर ले, मैं ये सीन वापस शूट नहीं करूंगा. He got happy. He did. No production house wants to reshoot because it's a waste of time, waste of money, right?
Yeah.
So they were like, हाँ हाँ हम तेरे साथ हैं. Don't reshoot Diego. Then I got a call from the channel. Those days I used to get a call from the channel every day because I was in my mid-20s. I used to shoot till 10, 11 in the night, then party till 5 in the morning. I would come on set at 7 in the morning, and I would not put no makeup. I would just go to the set. So every day I would get a call. Aabhaas, either stop partying or start using makeup, do something. I'm like, nah. So I was like literally the bad boy in Star Plus also. So I got a call from this creative saying that we have to reshoot this. What is the problem? I'm like, ma'am, the problem is that I literally gave my soul into that scene yesterday. I'm telling you now, I'm not going to do it again. Even if you make me do it again, I will not give my soul into it. Do you want a good performance or do you want good clothes? First, answer that. Secondly, please telecast the scene as is. If from any audience in India forums, Delhi Chakkar, boom, bam, if anybody comes and says, good scene, but the hero's shirt was matching the curtain, please consider this phone call as my resignation, not from your show, but from the whole craft. I'll never act in my life. If I'm doing such a heavy duty scene and behind me लोग पर्दा देख रहे हैं तो मुझे तो डूब के ही मर जाना चाहिए. Am I wrong?
Not at
अरे
all.
आप परफॉर्म कर रहे हो, मैं आपको देखूंगा कि पीछे पर्दा है उसको देखूंगा. Yeah, we didn't reshoot it, but I was hell bent. I was adamant that I'm not going to reshoot this. Even if I do, I will not give you even 30% of what I did yesterday. Because I couldn't. It was so draining, that scene. They literally had to pack me up after that scene because I was so done.
It's one of my favorite scenes in the show.
It's by far my favorite scene in the show.
And it's because it felt like the high point of the show is when the elopement happened, right? Because IPK always felt very Shakespearean for me for that particular shot, because we know a proposal is going to happen. We know a confession is going to happen. We know these two lovers are going to meet happily. And beach mein, the way Sham comes, this has suddenly become a card against humanity. Like Khushi is getting everything that she's dreamed of, but in the worst way possible. Arnav is getting a straight up, he's looking at the terrace and it's an exact throwback of what happened 14 years ago. If he put Anjali in place of his mom, there was also certain regard that he also viewed Sham with. So I was like, oh my God, the tragedy is coming back. And I'm like, how are you getting this after like 150 episodes? And then there was a space for whatever reasons, like, I don't know, but it just felt like the show was not going back to what the whole masla was about.
So the show was supposed to end in, say, in a year's time. अगर ये जो इन लोगों ने बीच में, अगर आपको याद हो तो मैं कुछ स्कॉर्पियन लेके आता हूँ अपनी बीवी मारने के लिए. No, all that was not needed, but then these are the things that bring the ratings. Now, when the original writers would have written the story, I'm sure these parts were not, these were not a part of that. Arnav's kidnapping was never ever in the show. You know why it was done?
I'll tell you the gossip that I know. You can verify if that is the truth. What the gossip is out there is that Barun had to leave either for a project or a personal commitment or something, that but he was not available. So usko cover
to facilitate his film shooting, they had done this. He said, either you facilitate my shoot or else I'll leave this show. So then they said, no, we'll figure it out. You shoot for your film. So that's why they had incorporated the kidnapping track. Do you know why I wanted to kill my child?
No.
Take a guess.
I mean, you're Sham, so that is a very you thing to do in general. But
nothing to do with Sham. Dolly refused to be a mother on screen.
Really?
So in that show, if anything would go tits up, they would make me be a part of it so that it's done by me. Daljit said, I don't want to be a mother on screen. So like, cool, miscarriage करा देंगे शाम के हाथ को.
So अगर
अर्नव को छुट्टी चाहिए थी, किडनैप करा. हाँ, बच्चा होता. पर बच्चा का देखो, बच्चे का स्टोरी में मेंशन ही नहीं था पहले. अगर वो लोग बाद में लाए बच्चा, अगर दलजीत बोलती कि नहीं, हाँ मैं कर लूंगी, माँ बन जाऊंगी, बच्चा होता. Because that बच्चा was the way they wanted to bring Anjali and Sham closer.
That's interesting. But I also did love how they did bring Sham back. Like, I loved how Sham was gaslighting Anjali into thinking that if he was existing, तो फिर ये miscarriage नहीं होता. That was...
Yeah. And you know, when I was doing that character, every time I would be asking myself, ये क्या है? ये ऐसा कौन कर सकता है? इतना कौन stupid हो सकता है जो हर बार बात... पर होते हैं यार. Gaslighting is a real thing.
Oh, yeah. One thing I had to say about Sham was that one thing that truly terrified me. The older I grew up and the more I started digging deep into all of these characters' psyches to understand where they're coming from, the one thing that truly terrified me about Sham was that his villainy jo tha na, apart from Scorpio hunting and kidnapping, the fact that he kept Anjali in an emotionally abusive relationship and it's never apparent to the people around her is so like shockingly connected to real life. Like that was a
Now,
very
simultaneously, now coming to Karan's show, सौभाग्यवती भव वही तो कैरेक्टर था सेम जो आपने अभी बोला.
yeah.
मैंने तो वो शो देखा भी नहीं है, बट आई नो वही तो कैरेक्टर था. ऐसे होते हैं लोग. गैस लाइटिंग इज अ रियल थिंग. आई यूज्ड टू फील कि ये तो क्या नकली है, बकवास, ऐसे कौन हो सकता है, हाउ कैन एनीवन बी सो स्टूपिड. देयर आर
No, it was
लाइक
Sham.
स्टॉकहोम सिंड्रोम इज अ थिंग. दिस इज अ थिंग. गैस लाइटिंग इज अ थिंग.
Did you ever know where Sham's end of character is going to be? Like, what was his ultimate motive of sticking around? Like, did he just lose his mind or like what was happening?
So somewhere the way I played it, it became that the love then became desire and passion more than love. कि अब तो ये मुझे चाहिए, कुछ भी हो जाए. So when that feeling comes in, I feel as a person, not as Sham, as Aabhaas, that then the love is lost. Now it's more about ego. Now it's the adamancy, being adamant कि now this has to be mine. अब अगर वो हो गया आपका, उसके बाद आप क्या करोगे? You don't know, because you are with somebody because of love, not because of ego. You can win someone because of ego, but once you won them, then what do you do? Then what holds you together? If there is no love, you're not going to be together. I would love to see how that would go ahead in that context. But the way, I mean, because the show was not about Sham, so we had to end it at me getting caught. But had Sham gotten Khushi, I don't think he would have been with her. Because there was no love by the end of it. Like how audience thinks lust, I don't think it was lust. It was more about the fact that I tried to get something and it didn't happen. Now I'm going to get it. It's that.
जिद बन गई है.
Zid. That's the word. तो जिद जब हमने शुरू किया था तो वो हम प्यार की जोन में ही थे. फिर वो कैसे कैसे अब जब आप कैरेक्टर को जीते हो एज एन एक्टर, तो एज आई सेड, यू ऑल्सो ब्रिंग अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स टू द कैरेक्टर. So probably I was doing things that motivated the writers also to write in a certain way. To take my character graph from this love guy to this ziddi guy. Now he has to want it. He wants it, he will get it. That whole Dadi track and all, they were never a part of the show. So because Arnav का kidnapping दिखाया, फिर kidnapping दिखाया तो मेरा exit दिखाना पड़ा क्योंकि मैंने kidnap किया था. अब मेरा exit दिखा दिया तो मेरा entry कैसे दिखाएंगे? तो दादी को ले आए. तो a lot of things change, as per scenarios. We don't have a bound script like how you have in a film, the point A to point B, this is how we are going to make it. No, these things change every day. अभी कल को अगर मेरे एपिसोड्स में ज्यादा टीआरपी आ रही है, लोगों को अर्नव पसंद नहीं आ रहा है, तो परसों मैं हीरो होऊंगा शो का. That's how television works. Kasam Se was a show in which Ram Kapoor and Prachi Desai were the main leads, right? Ram Kapoor was a character actor in that show. He was not the lead. He was made the lead in the middle of the show. Ultimately, it's all TRP driven. Anything can change overnight. And all of us, we are so expendable. It's not even funny.
Wow.
I mean, it's not that easy, but yeah, we are expendable. It's not like कि कोई show नहीं चलेगा. Shows आएंगे जाएंगे, hero रहे ना रहे, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
So now that you've been exploring web shows, how satisfying has it been for you?
I haven't done much, to be honest. The fun part, I would like to recommend, please subscribe to Hangama and watch my last web series, Mauka Ya Dhoka. You'll get your answer how much fun I had. Because I'm only having fun in the whole show.
I love the soundtrack, the vibe of the show. Like from whatever little trailers and clips that I've seen on your Instagram.
So yeah, the whole idea was to musically make it like those 80s ka R.D. Burman kind of soundtrack. For me, it is the most underrated web series because nobody's seen it. I know I've done it. It is so underrated. It is not watched. It is underwhelming, but it is a fantastic show. Even the one that I've made now that budget-wise is twice or thrice of Mauka Ya Dhoka. But आप अगर दोनों देखोगे तो आप बोल ही नहीं सकते कौन सा अमीर है कौन सा गरीब है. because that guy is a genius. Kabir Sardanand is a damn genius when it comes to filmmaking.
So ये love for acting ये कहाँ से आया?
मेरा भी पहला प्ले मेरे लाइफ का था, मैं शर्लॉक होम्स ही बना था उसमें when I was 8 years old.
Oh, from then.
Yeah, I've been doing amateur theater since I was in school. As in, since I went to a boarding school at a very young age of 8. So since then, I've been doing a lot of amateur theater. Never ever had the courage of even talking about it, making it as a profession. Fortunately, when I went to college in Pune, I studied law. My college had the same boundary with, shared the same boundary with FTI, Film and Television Institute of India. There, I had a lot of friends. I used to act here and there in their projects. The first time I faced the camera was with Rajkumar Rao. He was a student of FTI, and we were doing someone's project. So that guy whose project I was doing, he is, I won't take his name, let it come out. He's directing his first Dharma film right now as we speak.
Oh.
So he also wrote Bhool Bhulaiya 2. The second part of Bhool Bhulaiya, he wrote it. So that guy said, "Ki boss, why don't you be an actor?" And I'm like, I always wanted to be since I was a kid. But then again, those stereotypes in my head that how can I'm a fat guy, average looking, how can I be an actor? So then that's how I started working with him, and he convinced me, "Ki boss, you should definitely be an actor." And then I told my parents that I want to be an actor. They had seen me do theater for all my life. So like, cool, but you finish your studies, then do whatever you want. So I ended up finishing law and became an actor.
That's nice. And when you're not acting, what are you doing?
Thinking about acting.
Aabhaas, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. I think अगर बैठ से आपके साथ बात करूंगी तो it can go on and on and on because you have such interesting anecdotes about IPK, about just such interesting thoughts, conspiracy or not. I loved absolutely discussing every single thing with you. But you've already been doing enough, almost double जितना वक्त मैंने मांगा था उससे double आपने दिया है. So thank you so much.
अरे आपने जो बातें छेड़ी है, now I've gotten back into 2011, it seems. I'm still thinking of those days.
But quickly,
I have a feeling that tomorrow I have to go to shoot for Pyaar.
Very quickly, apart from that one show, apart from that one episode, which one is your absolute favorite?
My entry.
Your entry.
Absolutely. I can shoot that at least 100 more times. Again and again and again and again. There's a very interesting story of that day also. I beat up the whole gang.
Huh.
One by one, I beat up everybody. And there are a lot of people who come. If you want, you can check that scene out. And I'm standing facing so Khushi is in front of me here. Those guys are coming from the back with a bat in their hand. And I just put my hand up and the bat breaks on my arm.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they were shooting it for the first time, the guy missed my hand and whacked me on my head. The full swing of a bat. The bat was thermocol. But वो कहते हैं ना हिंदी में एक मुहावरा है, दिन में तारे दिखना. I actually experienced it. The moment that whack happened, I was on the ground, and when I didn't even open my eyes, and I could only hear the fight master abuse the crap out of that guy because that guy was not an actor; he was a fighter, and he's like, "Sale, tum fighter ho kaise kar sakte ho?" And he was packing him up. He said, "Mera bhi pack up, like go home today. We won't shoot." Then I opened my eyes and like, sir, usko bhi kuch mat karo, mere ko bhi kuch mat karo. आधे घंटे का time दो, we'll shoot again. And then now the problem is now if you watch the scene, आप टेलीकास्ट में देखना, उसका बैट ऐसे भी नहीं उठता है कि मेरा हाथ पहले आ जाता है क्योंकि मेरी फट गई थी फिर. Now I was anticipating it, right?
Anticipating it.
The thing is that guy has to come behind me, swing the bat, and then my hand comes. This guy is reaching there and my hand is coming up right there. And they could not help it. And the fight master also said that now if I do anything, wo tera haath upar aayega hi aayega. So we'll have to shoot it like that.
Human defense mechanism, you're built to survive. तो कुछ नहीं
Absolutely. That's a defense thing. You cannot help it. वो पहला शॉट में सही आया था लेकिन वो पहला शॉट में बैट को नहीं, उसने यहाँ मारा मेरे सर पे.
So many stories and it just fills in such colorful details because
this one is an exclusive. This one's nobody knows about this story. No, Barun also doesn't know. Sanaya also doesn't know because they were not there on set. This was my shoot, right? This was in a separate location. So nobody knows about this incident.
Oh my God. I am feeling मेरा जो 7 साल का प्रेम है आईपीके के साथ. I feel like अब मुझे उसका I've gotten the blessing of it. That's
अरे
why.
अरे अरे,
No, because
इस चारकों का प्रेम हम सबके साथ है. We also blessed to be a part of this show. And just look at it. I mean, I have been working for since 2009. All right, it's about 15 years. This is the only show जिसके बाद भी हम लोग, like, I have a group who I consider as family. We travel together, we take holidays together, we every festival, Christmas, Diwali, anything, be it whatever. अभी परसों वरुण का फोन आया, साले बॉम्बे आ गया ना, अब कब मिलेगा? हम लाइक सर आना आया तो अभी आने तो दे. So it's like that. We are so used to each other, being so close to each other, that no other show has given me that. I've met some fantastic people. I've worked with fabulous people, but that connection has just never happened. I don't know. I mean, serendipity or what do you want to call it? जो आप उसे बोलो, but it's a fact. It's a fact. Absolute fact.
honestly, thank you so much. I had a little segment of memes. I will just directly send them to you. Enjoy it. People had a lot of fun making memes with Sham. So please go ahead and enjoy them. But apart
Talking
from
about memes, I'll just conclude with another fact that I don't know if people know about it or not. That within 2 months of the show, I was going to quit the show.
what?
Yeah.
How?
And the only reason I did not quit the show is Akshay Dogra. Otherwise, I was out of that show.
Why? This is like an episode leaving
Because,
me with a cliffhanger. Kyun?
because I was not able to deal with the hate. As you know, I had broken my leg. I would get messages from people every day saying, I hope you break your other leg as well. Then I would get pictures of me, not Sham, Aabhaas. They would Photoshop garlands and send, may you die in peace. So I was just not able to deal with that. And then Akshay made me realize that, boss, these are the best compliments you can get. This is bigger than any reward you can get, award, reward, whatever you want to call it. And that's when I'm like, yeah, man, you're right. And then I took it in my stride. Otherwise, I had put my papers down. I said, I don't want to do this show. I was like 20, how old was I? 24 when we were doing Pyaar. So to have an understanding that my character is meant to create that hatred in one's head. So obviously what they will tell you will be about hate. I did not understand that. I took it personally. I took it very personally. And to the fact that I started telling myself, ki, boss, I'll, kind of go easy on my villainous performance. I'll be a little like cooler and stuff. I was like, no, that would be doing injustice to the show. So I'd rather quit the show. And then Akshay explained to me, boss, this is the best award anybody can give you. That's when I was like, yeah, you're right. After all, coming up.
Huh? Because it's not indifference, right?
Imagine, we, our sets where we were, kabhi hame time mil gaya. So there was a mall right next doors, like not next doors walking, but 5-minute drive. तो वरुण और मैं अगर हम दोनों को टाइम मिल जाता था तो हम लोग हमेशा मॉल जाते थे. कुछ भी कर लो, खाने पीने कुछ तो करने. और हमारा क्या है, हमने पैंट शर्ट ही पहनी हुई है, कॉस्ट्यूम भी. तो वी यूज्ड टू गो इन आवर कॉस्ट्यूम ओनली. I remember once we were walking in the mall, these two ladies came and pulled Varun. And I'm standing right there like, you're hanging out with him? You know what he's doing to your sister? I like laughing. And after that whole conversation got over, those ladies come to me and say, very good acting, huh, beta? I'm like, then why the hell are you doing it? Once I was refused Crocin from a medical store, a medicine for headache.
Why?
Because I was Shyam Manohar Jha.
Because you're Shyam Manohar Jha.
Yeah. So just opposite my set, there was a pharmacist. And I was having a headache. I usually would send my spot guys, but I was out there only. So I said, I'll go and get it. And I was in my costume again. So the ladies like looking at me, smiling. "Aap wo hai na Shyam Manohar Jha?" I'm like, "हाँ मैम, नहीं है." नहीं है. Okay.
Arre. But
now this is so now I had reached that phase where I would take these as a compliment. This was not bothering me. अगर ये ना होता तो I would get bothered. कि यार, why are people not hating me anymore? And if I have one negative thing to say about that show, or negative, restrictive, whatever you want to call it, is that they did not use the potential of that guy. He's a fabulous actor. See, it was the first time where all of us were meeting together. So we didn't know anybody. We didn't know each other back then. After we finished that show, and when I started seeing Akshay and other stuff, is when I realized that how stupid were these guys to waste him in this.
Yeah.
Even Payal, for that matter, she was also wasted in the show.
Completely. I'm just like, because बात क्या है, Akash, Payal and Anjali are the stakes that the main leads have, जिसके वजह से ये
Hmm.
blackmail ये कर पा रहे. You have not developed
Hmm.
क्यों आकाश को नहीं बोला जा सकता है. And I'm like, Akash is sensible, he's smart. Why
Hmm.
can't he?
Absolutely.
तो
Why
वो
can't he know? Correct. And also, I understand because in our television space, it's so restrictive for writers also that हर चीज में main leads को involve करना ही होता है. You cannot have a character having his own story. Even that story will culminate with the main leads only. So that part I understand, but I just wish that he would have got his due in that show that he deserved to. He should have. The show would have been better, to be very honest. It would have helped the show.
absolutely, absolutely, because it's already set world building ना, बढ़ जाता. With Akash just being more fleshed out और पायल भी.
तो
पायल
ये होगा हमारे पॉडकास्ट का टॉपिक जब हम सब मिलेंगे कि अक्षय को कैसे यूज कर सकते थे इसमें.
कैसे नहीं, हाँ, लाइक 15 मिनट इसी बारे में बात करनी है कि कैसे नहीं किया आपने.
आपको लगेगा 15 मिनट है, वो 1 घंटा तक हो जाएगी ये बात कम से कम.
बट बात ऑनेस्टली शाम की बात कुछ अलग ही है. देयर वाज
इट्स द राइटर्स श्रीजिता. मैं कुछ भी, आप आभास को हटा दो, कोई और एक्टर जिसके बारे में आप सोच सकते हो उसको डाल दो, वो फिर भी वैसा का वैसा ही होता. इट्स जस्ट बिकॉज मैंने वो किया और आपने मुझे वो करते हुए देखा कि अब आपके वो मेमोरी और उसमें बैठ चुका है वो बात. बट इट इज नेवर एवर द एक्टर, इट इज मैक्सिमम क्रेडिट गोज टू द राइटर. बिकॉज मैं क्या ही कर लूंगा अगर मेरी राइटिंग मुझे वो सपोर्ट नहीं करेगी.
दैट इज ट्रू. That is so true. I really hope you keep on getting meteor roles simply because
थैंक
I
यू.
honestly believe that on IT, or मैं सच से बोल, like I honestly from the bottom of my heart, not just because you've indulged me with absolutely amazing stories from IPK, but it's that very rarely have I seen actors who have convinced me of their grayness on screen without it being flat or two tone. Like it's true, writing का एक बहुत 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 बड़ा हाथ होता है. But when you say you pour your soul into Sham in that particular scene, it is there. And I just really hope you get to explore this genre, any other genre that you want to do, and we get to see far more of you on screen because
Romance is my thing, desired thing now. I want to do a romantic show.
I hope you get that. And I hope it's a good, solid romantic show.
Because romance is the genre that fears me the most. As in, I am so scared of it that I want to do it now. And all these years, whenever they would call me for anything romantic, I would just say no because I was not ready. Now I am.
Now you
I
are.
can do
We're looking forward to it. Absolutely.
it.
But again, once
Kash, आप ही producer होते, then we
अरे
would have been working together.
थोड़ा वक्त लगेगा, थोड़ा वक्त दीजिए. आई डेफिनेटली होप उससे पहले आपका 3-4 रोमांसेस तो हो ही जाएंगे आराम से ऑन स्क्रीन. बट
On screen, on screen.
ऑन स्क्रीन
My wife
ऑब्वियसली
will watch this.
ऑब्वियसली. नहीं नहीं, बिलेटेड कंग्रेचुलेशंस ऑन योर वेडिंग.
Thank you so much. My
And
wife also, we met in his Pyaar only.
yeah, there is jadoo on that set. There is jadoo on
Again,
that set.
I'm telling you, this show was only meant to get us people together somehow.
That is so true. You know, there's a separate fandom for the BTSs of the show. Like आप सब लोग आके ऐसे bites देते ना, there is literally people had collections of all of that saved because they're like, we are watching 2 shows. एक show तो इस प्यार को चल रहा है, Arnav Kush and all of this. The other show is we are
मेरे
connected
तो
to this group of friends off screen.
मैंने तो अपने जितने भी फोटोज और वो देखे हैं उसमें खाली मैं सो रहा हूँ कहीं ना कहीं कोने में. मेरे ऊपर कोई कुछ डाल रहा है, कोई कुछ डाल रहा है. Because that's how life was, Srijita. I used to sleep on set because I was partying all night. I was having a blast all night. I would be, there would be no makeup. I just come, wear my costume, come, stand in the shot. मास्टर हो गया, चल मैं सेट पे ही सोफे पे बगल में सो रहा हूँ. हाँ मेरा शॉट आ गया, चलो उठ के शॉट देने आ जाओ. Life was like that. I'm not saying that it's good. I don't approve of it. I mean, I don't condone it, but that is how it was. I mean, how a 25-year-old should be.
You had your fun. And it shows.
Lots of it.
And the fun of set, there's a that energy translated on screen in one way or the other, and it translated to the
And
people who are watching it. So even on the fandom side, Abbas, it's so strange because I have friends जिसके साथ मेरा 7-8 साल का रिश्ता है, simply because of
Hmm.
the show. And there are a lot of people who have now, like, now even they're over the show. They're watching other things, but they're still friends in real life because we met
Like, I'll
because
tell
of
you
that.
this, Shilda, like how we as actors are now a group and friends. I have so many people who are audiences of this show have their own groups. And not now, since the last 10 years. They have their own groups from different countries. They've never seen each other, but they talk to each other every day. I mean, what else could be more beautiful than that?
I I know people are going to freak out when I be like, you have no idea who I spoke to. Simply because they're going to be like, oh my God, Shyam Manohar Jha, the Daya Ho, greatest of all time. I'm like,
Don't tell them. Just give them the snippets straight away.
and I'll be like, oh,
Don't tell them.
hello. I will definitely
Chala.
tell you. But this is the fifth time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I
Thank you
took
so
so
much.
much of your time. Thank
Not at all. This was so much fun, and I owed you this extra time because आपको मैंने इतना टाला है, इतने महीनों से टाल रहा हूँ. And honestly, I was just very busy. आप अभी भी उठ के जियो सिनेमा देख लो, मेरा शो चल रहा
अरे
होगा.
मुझे पता है, मैंने आपके इंस्टा पे देखा था कि 4 दिन पहले शूट हुआ. आई एम लाइक, दिस इज अ माइथो शो. आई एम लाइक, माइथो शो है. देयर इज जस्ट अनदर एडेड लेयर ऑफ, apart from your own dialogues and acting, आपका जो काम है, there's also makeup and all of
No,
that.
no, no.
I was
It
just
is,
like,
yeah. It is too much, too much, too much, too much. There are too
really,
many things to deal with.
yeah.
Acting takes a backseat over there. और मस्ती की बात कर रहे थे ना, having fun. This show, तो I have only had fun. Flight attendant. In fact, Hangama people, I'm very close to them because I've done 3 shows now. They
हाँ.
called me and said, पूरा ऑफिस यही बोल रहा है कि तूने उसे मजे लिए पूरे शो में. मैंने कहा मैं तो वही करता हूँ भाई, मजे ही लेता हूँ. That's a lot. विलेन बनता है, विलेन होता क्या है. और if you think Sham was dark, you're in for a complete different thing.
Oh, okay. So once again, I think this इतनी बार टाटा. ऐसे मुझे लग रहा है कि ऐसे श्याम जी के बारे में बात करते करते थोड़ा बहुत मैं भी लखनवी बन चुकी हूँ कि अच्छा चलते हैं, पर एक और बात करेंगे. पर हाँ, इस बार
बाद में जाके अपने दोस्तों को बोलना कि ये तो जान ही नहीं दे रहा था मुझे. He's not- I'll take five times and
मुझे
he's like
डर लग
again.
रहा है कि आपको लग रहा है कि मैं आपको जाने नहीं दे रही हूँ. आई एम लाइक, नहीं नहीं नहीं, आई डोंट वांट टू ईट इनटू योर टाइम.
Nah. I'm good. I'm
हाँ.
going to go to the gym and I'll work out with some nice thoughts of his Pyaar ko.
Good. But boy, thank you so much. Honestly, thank you so much for your time, for being so kind, for being so generous with your precious memories and giving a richer set of information as to what went on behind our very, very favorite and beloved show. I think the love for the show exists on screen, off screen, among the cast and crew, among the audience. I think from your words, it's very evident why this show lives on for so many
Mhm.
years, because there's just so much of love. It's apt for a show called about what do we call this love. But thank you so much. I am really looking forward to your next set of projects, and it has honestly been such a great time talking to you.
Thank you, Shilpa. Before we go, name your favorite actor in the show.
Arre re, that's tough. That's tough. It's a tie between not because you're in front of me, but it's a tie between you, Barun, and Sanaya. And I have my reasons.
Hi. So लास्ट में आपकी नॉलेज टेस्ट करता हूँ इस प्यार को की. इसमें जो बकरी थी, बकरी उसका नाम क्या था? What was the name of the
लक्ष्मी.
girl? अरे
और उससे गोद में हमेशा हरि प्रकाश जी लेते थे, विच इज व्हाई अदर फैन सोच रहे ये एक ट्रू शिप है, लक्ष्मी और हरि प्रकाश जी के. आई डोंट थिंक आई हैव टू से
That's a good one.
माय फेवरेट एक्टर्स in the show. I don't think I have to explain it, because I think there is a certain level where Sham could have gone given his character,
Mhm.
and I think you took it a level beyond.
And I tell you now, trust me, if you give me this show today, I'll take it 2 more levels beyond. And probably after 10 years, I'll take it to another 4 levels above. Because that's how this craft is. Any art, you mature, it's like wine, you mature with time. So
सही बात है.
at that time, I was very happy that I got Istiarko, but today I feel like I wish I could get Istiarko today instead of then. I'm being greedy, I know, but being honest.
No, thank you for being honest. Your honesty is what made this interview really amazing.